Congrats. So you're going to donate blood for charity. Excellent. I've donated blood for charity over 30 times, actually. And I'm not saying, look at me, I'm great. But I want to guide you through your first time donating blood for charity. And by the way, you should, because you will save a minimum of 3 people's lives every time you donate. So if you are eligible to donate, not everybody is, but if you can, listen, no one's a bigger chicken than I am. I get stressed looking at the needle. I don't want to see my blood. I get nervous and anxious just walking into the place. But you're saving 3 lives. You're helping people who have cancer. You're helping children. You're helping adults. You're helping senior citizens. You're helping people with other forms of disease or car accidents or whatever. So I highly recommend and I encourage you to donate blood. You can donate, I think it's every 2 months, or even whatever you can do. It would totally help. They should be hiring me as like their spokesmodel, but they're not. Anyways, so I'm out here in Jersey, y'all, and here's what happens. So there's, I guess, 2 different ways you can donate blood. They have the mobile blood donation drives, which I've never been a part of that. I go to a center, like a blood donating center. And so, number 1, you can either call or go on an app. I go to Vitalant. That might be a nationwide one, but check on the internet. And so you schedule your donation, and it's online, or you can call. That's that. You can Google it, find out. And then they give you a time that's good for you. You pick the time, So I usually go on the weekdays when it's not that as busy. And you will fill out a questionnaire online, usually, sometimes in person. And the questionnaire will ask you, kind of common sense questions. Some may not be so common sense, but you'll have to answer them. And I laugh because I'm like, anybody can lie on these things. You know what I mean? They're still going to screen the blood no matter what. So if you're receiving blood, don't worry. Our blood supply here in this country, and if not in any modern country in the world, is safe, is like 100% safe. Like, you're not going to get a disease, with modern technology. Yeah, decades and decades and decades ago, unfortunately, yes, certain disease they didn't have screening methods for, but now they can screen for everything. The blood, if you're getting blood, God forbid, because of an operation or an accident or a disease that you need a transfusion, you're safe, you're good. So that's what makes me laugh, though. So I'm like, why even ask questions? Because you're gonna go search, you're gonna filter and test the blood regardless. But anyways, you're gonna receive a questionnaire. I don't know, it might be like 50 questions maybe, and it'll ask you, stuff that is common sense and stuff that's not so obviously common sense. And blood donation centers are not prejudiced. They're not racist. They're not against anybody's religion, and no color, no creed, no anything, no orientation. It's just about science. So they want to know, what's going to make things easier for us. And most people, I ask the blood donation center, I'm like, come on, do people answer these questions honestly? I know I do, but you got to figure, does anybody really say like, oh yeah, this happened, that happened? And they said, yes. People are inherently, they want to do good. That's why they're here. So they will answer honestly. And that helps to speed up the process or weed out people who might not be able to give. And if you hang around to the middle here, I'll tell you why. One time twice I got rejected and I'll tell you what coming up. But so the blood donation centers are not trying to, they're not racist, they're not prejudiced, they're not, phobic of any kind. It comes down to science, and they're asking science questions. Like, for instance, have you, had sex with a prostitute? Have you, shot IV drugs? Have you ever had cancer? Have you gotten a tattoo in the past, whatever it is, like, I don't know, it's like a year or something like that. Have you been outside the country? And they want to know what country, so kind of things that are common sense. Have you ever gotten, I think it's called a brain dermograph? Now, why that would be, there's, I guess, a reason for that, so there's reasons, and it's all science-based. They're not doing it arbitrarily. And, so this is all based on science. So you're going to answer questions. And then you're going to go and, hi, how are you? I'm here for my appointment, whatever, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then they'll ask you to show ID. You got to show your license or whatever. and then you're going to sit and wait for a little bit, depending on how busy it is. Usually you wait maybe 5 minutes, not even 10 minutes. If it's busy, you might wait 10, 15 minutes. It's going to bring your ID. What else? They're going to ask you some questions one more time when you go to sit in the screening room, where they take your blood pressure and they do some vitals, and then they'll like prick your finger. I'll tell you why they'll do that in a moment. But they're going to ask you again, what is your full name again? What is your date of birth again? They just want to make sure you say who you are, and that you're not, everything is very, very tightly controlled and safe. So, the place where you're going to go it's nice. It's like a doctor's office. It's got a little hospital feel to it, but it's chill. There's TVs playing and stuff like that, and there's a little cafe area. In place, at least where I go, I'm sure most places are like that. So they're going to ask you questions, who are you and what's your date of birth? Okay. They're going to prick your finger because this is where I got booted out twice, I think it was. They're going to prick your finger because they're going to test for iron. If you have too much iron, they're going to tell you, sorry, come back in like a couple days or a week or whatever. That's the reason why they're pricking your finger, because I guess if you have too much iron, that could cause a problem for the person receiving your blood. Or if you have too little iron, that could cause a problem for you donating blood. So they're looking for that iron level, and it falls in a sweet spot. I don't know what the number is, but that's irrelevant. They know. So usually men have higher iron than women, because women have a menstrual cycle and men don't. So shedding of blood means depletion of iron. Ironically, donating blood for men, if you have high iron, is a good thing. It gets your iron levels down. So too much iron in the blood is a no-no. It's not good for you. But yeah, so I got booted out twice, and I was like, well, how do I get my iron down? They're like, well, just come back and your body will self-regulate, but just stay away from steak and things with high iron foods and stuff like that. So I came back and I was fine. All right, so what else? They will take your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is too low or it's too high, you're not going to be able to go. So whatever. They look for a general safe zone. So then they'll walk you over to the little kind of seats, cushion seat kind of recliners. And, it looks kind of like a hospital setting, and you'll see other people there too. And they're just chilling out, listening to music or looking on their phones or whatever. And then you sit down, they ask you, which arm would you like the blood drawn from? Whatever, left, right arm, whatever. And they're going to look for the vein, or if they can find the vein, that's going to be more, obvious, so they can put the needle into the vein area. The person taking your blood is not a nurse, although they may have a nursing background. They're a phlebotomist, so they're specializing in taking blood. That's what they do, and they do it really well. Like I've been to the doctor like anybody else. You get a shot for something, or you get blood drawn. These people are really good at making that needle you almost don't feel anything almost. So we're going to talk about the needle in a minute. So what else? The people are nice. They're professional. They know that you're it's kind of a little tense thing there, so they're very kind and sweet and caring, and can I get you anything to drink, this and that. And you sit down. It's a little chilly in the place, and then they will scrub your arm down with an antibacterial, I guess antiviral, antibacterial kind of solution. The part of your arm, where they're going to take the blood from. And then they'll draw the blood. The needle is a larger needle than a needle you would get like if they take blood at your doctor's office. That hole is a little smaller. Or if you get a shot, like a flu shot, that needle is super, super small. This needle is a little larger only because they really want to get you in and out quick. So the bigger, I guess it's called a gauge, or the hole of that needle, the quicker the blood flows and the quicker you go home. So it takes about 10 minutes to donate whole blood. Now, if you're donating, I don't know, double red or platelets, it takes longer. Maybe, I don't even know. It takes longer. But whole blood donation takes about, once the needle's in and the blood starts flowing, about 10 minutes. And I believe, don't quote me, I think they take, I want to say a pint of blood? Let's see. Let me see. Do they take a pint of blood? Do they take? How much blood can someone donate in one sitting? Is it a pint for charity? I think it is a pint. Yeah, for standard whole blood donation, it is 1 pint. Okay, so 450 to 500 milliliters. Okay, so that's it. So, and in that blood, the whole blood, they can break it down. into plasma and other things like that can help, again, give therapy to cancer patients, people who, again, car accidents or whatever, right? So the blood will flow with a larger hole in that needle. And that's good because, again, it takes about 10 minutes. Once the blood starts flowing, boom, 10 minutes, you're done. Then they give you a little, whatever badge there, like a gauze. You hold your arm up, and then they wrap it, and then you cannot do any smoking or drinking or any strenuous exercises for basically a day. Just take it easy. And then the key, though, here, too, I want to say is you want to hydrate. You want to hydrate before you get there. You want to make sure you're drinking Gatorade or Pedialyte, like a good glass before you get there. Make sure you have a meal before you get there. Don't go in there hungry because you're going to get your ass kicked. Because when you give blood, you're shedding a lot of calories. I don't know what the amount is, but we could ask ChatGPT this. Let's see. Because I'm curious too. Let's see. How many calories is shed when you donate a pint of blood for charity? I'm sure it's a lot. I mean, so it's about 650 calories. That's a lot of calories. That's a lot of calories. That's a quarter of your daily caloric intake. That's a meal in 10 minutes you're shedding. So that's all of your hydration, not all, but it's a large part of your hydration and your calories. So you're going to want to make sure you go in there not hungry. You want to make sure you have a good, whatever, meal prior. And you want to drink before you get in there, preferably Gatorade, Pedialyte, stuff like that, because that's going to help things a lot going forward after you donate. You won't be like, shaking, or you won't have a massive headache. But so once you get done, they're going to say, okay, now you got to sit down for about 15 minutes. You're not leaving. You're not walking out. They want to make sure that you're okay, especially if it's your first time, because you don't know how you're going to react. You might get like just oozy and stuff. So you want to just chill, sit down, relax. You must, and I highly recommend it, even if you're not thirsty, even if you're not hungry, they will have cookies for you there. They will have, snacks, and they will have sugary drinks. Drink the sugary drinks. Eat the cookies. Eat the chips. Eat it. Shut up. Eat it. You got 15 minutes to 20 minutes. You're going to just chill. You're going to chill in the little cafe section. And it's great because it's the one time you can be naughty. Your body needs that instant sugar, carbs, and, to get you back up to feeling like, okay. Because it's like you just did a massive workout and you need nutrients, especially quick sugar. So you're going to need, again, the apples. They have apple cider, apple juice, cranberry juice, all the juicy juice, sugar, and the cookies. So I eat like 2 chocolate chip cookies and a bag of mini cookie vanilla cookies, and then I had like 2 cranberry juices, stuff like that. You know what I mean? What else? So that's what you want to do right afterwards. And I would also say keep on hydrating even after you leave. I drink like a large Gatorade prior and a large Gatorade after, and then I also, when I'm sitting in the cafe eating the cookies and stuff. And again, don't go running a marathon or working out. Just take a day. You can go to work and you can even whatever, walk around and stuff. But yeah, don't no exercise, no craziness. Just chill. Like at 24 hours about, and then you can go back to your craziness afterwards. But and then after that, the new policy is after you donate, you have 2 weeks. And within 2 weeks after you donate, if you are sick, if you get sick with the flu or whatever, I don't know, the boom, boom, boom virus, you have to call a hotline number and give them the code that they give you. They give you this piece of paper on the way out. So now I'm not talking about like, I have a little sniffle, not that. I'm talking about like if you get sick, like, they want to know because they might have to delete your blood donation, so that's it. But you're doing a great job. You're doing a great deed for so many people. 3 people minimum will be saved from your 1 blood donation. And by the way, you get a mini physical, and donating blood is actually helping you, because when you donate, your body benefits actually from that shedding of blood, believe it or not. So it's a win-win. you're helping somebody out, and in many ways, you get more out of it, I think, than the person receiving your blood, because you feel like a superstar. You feel like, wow, I did something really great today. You literally helped somebody out. No bullshit. No, like, oh, you make a difference in people's lives. No, you literally saved 3 humans, literally. And so you just feel like the cold runner's high. Like, you feel so good about yourself that you did something really, really good. And then on top of it, you're receiving benefits from giving blood because it helps your body and you feel great. And then the person you're helping, or the people you're helping, they feel great. They don't know who you are, but it's a win, 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 win. So I'm a chicken. I'm a sissy. If I can do it, you can do it. Please donate. And I think that's it. If you got any questions, just text me, or message me in the comment section below. But yeah, and you may not be able to donate, but you don't know that. So check first, and hope you will donate. Thank you, everybody. Any questions in the segment in the comment section below? Okay. Thank you. Bye.